What's going on, everybody? Um, One of the things that I've come across as I've been reading and doing research and studying on this whole endeavor and this project over the next year for learning how to stream and do content creation and everything is it's a good thing to do a retrospective every couple of months to evaluate where you're at, look at the positives because there are a lot of frustrations and a lot of setbacks and a lot of gray hairs that come from trying to understand this crazy world of content creation, streaming online, and growing a brand and establishing yourself that is just really, really at times frustrating and a little depressing. So many know that I've talked about it for a long time. I'm huge into cybersecurity. I love this stuff. I use Twitter quite a bit over historically for exclusively for cybersecurity, following those guys and gals in the industry that I look up to and those mentors and getting exploits and finding about what's going on in the world that way. And I've always compartmentalized my social media platforms that way. I've looked at Twitter for for cybersecurity, and Facebook for family, and Instagram for fitness, and Discord for gaming. And now that as you breach into like this whole new world, either you recreate persona on different platforms or you learn to integrate and accept that there's going to be some of your friends and some of your peers and some of your family out there that aren't quite going to understand what you're trying to accomplish or what your passion is. And the reason I got into this is not only am I passionate about my family and my friends and those relationships, uh, and passionate about cybersecurity, but I'm very passionate about gaming in general. I find it a great relaxation and enjoyment. And I play a plethora of games. One of the things that have come up too, as well, is how you balance your time. But one of the things I wanted to talk about in the video is the frustrations. It's and with everyone saying, well, it's just you're just gonna put a game on and you're gonna stream it and then you're gonna upload it to YouTube or something. And I think people don't understand the amount of effort that goes in, especially if you're trying to start out in this world. Some friends of mine and myself are trying to get a podcast up and running. I think uh, we have 6 or 5 episodes or 6 ones this Friday, and man, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Um, Trying to understand how to map out content, how not to sound scripted, how to ensure that we're not repeating ourselves, how do you not dwell too long on a topic, or do you let the moment flow and you go down those rabbit holes and you enjoy your time and you don't want to go too long on things, and how do you keep your audience engaged just on the podcast alone. And then you've got to look at like your personal stuff. Which games are you into? Are you going to be able to market that, or is there certain aspects? Like I like the cybersecurity aspect in gaming. A lot of people don't understand it. Trying to fit that into our topics and our conversations and getting those discussions in and learning more about how the consoles are set up for security and the gaming set up for security. All those problems. It's all digital zeros and ones and everything else. So at the end of the day, there are still issues and everything, and concerns and vulnerabilities. So I find those discussions interesting. But how do I get the rest of the world and get interested in that as well is a bit daunting, because sometimes most of the gamers I come across, they don't really think about it. They don't really care. It's like in the world of enterprise, security used to be more of an afterthought, and now more than ever, it's becoming more and more of a forethought. And as people get into streaming more and everything, I think you're going to see a shift and pick up a little bit more security sense and security mindedness from streamers and content developers and gamers um, across the board. For me right now, I've been really frustrated with the streaming. Not so much that I can't find content, because I do enjoy a wider variety of games. My son likes to game with me, so we're going to do some streams that way. Um, but you figure out your brands, you get your logos. My frustrations have been around, okay, I understand Mixer and Twitch, and there's like 50,000 new streamers attempting to do this stuff all the time. But getting your, yeah, I never knew that you had, like, okay, you stand up your Mixer, that's fine. Go set up your off-screen panels or your offline panel, and then your information panel, and you need to add some graphics to it so it looks like eye candy, and people know where to click and how to do this and follow you and everything, and what your schedule is, and then setting up a schedule and setting it, sticking to it, being very consistent with what you stream, when you stream, how you stream. It's not. People might say that sounds easy, but when you add in your regular workflow, your day job, making sure you stay focused on your day job, and then you stay focused on family, and you don't sacrifice your time with your family, and that your family understands what you're trying to do and accomplish, and then getting that time to make sure that like once or twice. I'm going for twice a week for 2 hours at a time, plus the podcast. So you're looking 6 hours of stream time a week, and then you got to get one video on YouTube a week. It gets a little daunting, especially not so much on the raw, but creating and editing video is not my strong suit at all. The thumbnail generations, the graphics, the titling for your videos, and for your streams and your tweets and all that. I'm not very good at the video part of it, and I have to focus more on learning that. I picked up DaVinci Resolve and the Affinity Suite, publisher and photo, and there's one other one, and I'm gradually learning those. But I've set milestones. The biggest thing is actually getting started. So 2020 was the year I decided I'm finally going to get off my butt and see what this is all about, and give it a good solid go for at least a year. Because I know it's going to take that long. And I did a video when I first started what I was trying to accomplish. And I can say that, yes, I've gotten off the ground. Yes, I've got some logos. I've done some video posts. I've got some views. I've managed to get some followers on Mixer. But for me, it's not so much right now about the number of followers or the number of views. It's more about getting quality processes and skills developed. That way I can provide like decent quality content, quality video, quality graphics, and not try to bore people too much. I've strived really hard, and I found this very interesting, to make sure that my channels and my topics and everything are family friendly. I don't want to put anything out that my son can't watch, or my daughter eventually. They're young, and I want to make them proud, and I want other parents out there, because I like to think that this generation that I'm in, we started gaming. I started playing Ultimate Online when it first came out, and there was bulletin board gaming, 90s. And I want to make sure that, the kids can watch what their old man's doing. But not only that, make sure that everyone else can, and keep it fun. And I think it's really interesting that the more I've strived for that, the more people I've come across that just, they don't really care with that mindset. They just want to go with it. So that's a little frustrating. But the frustrations are something you have to overcome. And right now I've been very positive and enjoying what I've been doing. But I do have a tough time staying focused on it. I make sure above and beyond all else that as I'm doing this crazy adventure, that I do focus on my day job, and I do focus on my family. And sometimes that makes it a little bit more difficult to get out to what I need to be doing, because I want to game. I don't want to stop gaming. I enjoy that. That's my stress relief, hanging out with my buddies online. The cabin fever that's going on around right now due to all the human malware. I'm not downplaying anyways. It's a very serious situation, but I'm with how I'm socially set up with my family, uh, and I have been for years being in IT and everything, is I have friends and I occasionally go out and do things, but the majority of the time I like spending it here with my family, and online with my friends. I've met a lot of really good friends throughout the world over the years. I've met some of them face to face, and some of them I've never met, but I consider them really good friends just because that's how gaming works. And people sometimes don't understand that, but I hope to bring that sense in to what I'm doing, as people get to meet myself and get to know me and get to know the people that I game with. Uh, Sometimes I lose touch with a couple of them for 5 or 6 months because we change games and we're not interested in that same genre. But we do manage to stay in touch with things like Twitter or Discord or things like that, and Facebook. But overall, I think the experience has taught me be patient, look for the positives in everything that you do, and understand that if you're getting into streaming and content creation, that it's going to be a marathon and not a sprint. Some people have really good editing skills and graphic skills, and other ones have really good play content skills. Like if you were to watch me stream, a first person shooter, I am not the best aim in the world. I used to be okay at it, but some people know I had neck fusion surgery, and I still have hand problems and nerve damage. But if you watch me play MMOs and Final Fantasy stuff like that, I really get into that. Strategy a little bit. Games that make you think, I really enjoy those ones, like Skyrim, and I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm looking forward to trying out um, Amazon's New World. I'm playing Fantasy Star Online 2 beta right now and really enjoying it. People might think it's a little simple because you're just swinging a sword or shooting a gun. Uh, but it's actually a lot of fun. You get together with your buddies and you just get to disconnect for a couple hours when you're playing. Or if I'm with my son and we're doing Minecraft, or he's playing Terra Tech, building games that intrigue the imagination and inspire it. I think it's a good thing. I could be out doing worse things. I could go out and have buddies and we could go out drinking, which I don't do. Um, or I could be hanging out at home and, making sure I have to divide my time uh, to make sure I don't neglect the family. Last night we unplugged and we watched Rise of the Skywalker, which I hadn't seen yet, but we finally got around to watching. That was actually a really good movie. I was not disappointed in it, like the first one that they did in that series. My kids liked it. I thought it was a good ending, but overall, I really do enjoy this endeavor that I'm going on. I do get frustrated. So I want to let everyone know that's getting into this or has the idea, it is not simply just, hey, I'm going to turn on something, record it, and post it, and be done. You got to think about your brand. You got to think about who your audience is, what you want to stream, what you want to develop as content. You have to go look at the fact that you're going to have to learn how to edit your videos, how to edit your content, how to create graphics and thumbnails, how to generate and create a video title that is semi-clickbaity to drive audiences to your video, and thumbnails that catch the eye, that inspire people to get okay, or give them a little nudge to go watch your stuff. Because you can have the greatest video in the world, but if you can't get people to click on it, then it's just going to sit there and collect dust. But I think that's my frustration right now. So over the next few months, I'm really going to try and focus on learning how to develop my graphic skills with video editing and thumbnail creation. I think those are the two big ones. I've already got the games picked out I want to play. I've already got things rolling on that. I've already also endeavored into using what streaming software and gaming software, and got a new computer fixed and everything. I'm using OBS and Stream Elements, and get the audio tuned and drivers set up, and what do I want to go down the road with if this goes successful, making sure my color balance and my camera's quality, all this stuff. There's a lot of things in it. So if you're going to get into content creation, be patient. It's just a marathon and not a sprint. I appreciate everyone's time. I appreciate everyone's support in this endeavor. I love my wife and my kids for helping me with this, and my friends that are being patient and understanding. And I appreciate all you guys out there for taking the time to watch this and taking the time to support it and trying to understand all that I'm trying to figure out and wade through this crazy world. So to everyone out there, again, thank you. Stay safe. Take care of your families. And I will talk to y'all later. Thank you.